Okay, A30, I'm going to do number 8. So it asks me to find the slope and to find the y-intercept in the above equation. Okay, so in order to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is to, step number 1 here. So I know I'm looking for M, and I'm looking for B in the form, y is equal to mx plus b. So the first thing I noticed is, oh, I haven't isolated y, so I'm not in y equals mx plus b form. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to isolate y. When I isolate y, I'm going to go ahead. Here's the equation. Y plus 1/3 x equals -2. So I'm going to subtract 1/3 x from both sides of the equation. And that's going to give me y all by itself, just like I wanted, because I have 1/3 x minus 1/3 x. That goes away. And this gives me a minus 1/3 x minus 2. Now I've isolated y, and I know that my slope in the equation is the coefficient on x, which in this case is equal to -1/3. So if I come over here and I look, I have -1/3. That's the coefficient on x. Therefore, that is my slope. And then I also know that my b, or my y-intercept, is the constant with its sign, and so that's equal to -2. So I know my slope is -3, and I know my y-intercept is -2. And I'm done. That's all I had to do in that one. All right, so I also know my, I'm going to intersect the y-axis, so very quickly, if I was drawing this, there's my y-intercept, and my slope tells me I'm going to go change in, let me use a different color pen, the change in y, there it is -1, and my change in x is 3. That puts me right to there. There's my change in x, which is +3, and there's my line going down, just like I would expect for a negative slope, and it looks like that. All right, that's the end of that one. All right, so now on A30, I'm going to do number 16, and I'm given that m, or my slope, so remember m is your slope, and b, which is my y-intercept. My slope is -9/5, and my y-intercept is -7. So I want an equation that satisfies that. So here I go. I know y is equal to mx plus b. So here I'm going to get y is equal to, well, I know my slope is -9/5. So that's my m. I just made a substitution. And then here I have x. And then I know that's plus, and my b, in this case here, is -7. And that's my equation for my line, and I could, if I wanted, to simply write that as y is equal to -9/5 x minus 7. That right there is my slope, which of course is the coefficient on x when y is isolated, and then that there is my b, which is my y-intercept, which is the constant in the equation. Once again, really quickly to graph it, -7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's my y-intercept, and that is at 0, -7. And then from this point, I'm going to go down 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There it is. This is my change in y, and that's a minus 9. And then I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. That's my change in x, and that's equal to 5. And then I connect my two dots, and there's my line. All right, there you go. That's number 16. All right, for the last one I'm going to do for you today, I'm going to do number 35, and I'm given the equation, and this time I'm going to graph it. So once again, the first thing I notice is that, I check to make sure y is isolated. Well, lucky, incredibly lucky me, y is already isolated. I don't have to do anything. So it's already in y is equal to mx plus b form. But in this case, I have y is equal to -5/10 x plus 2. Well, as always, folks, we know that the coefficient on x is our slope. So let's go ahead and a little bit of a sloppy thing there. There it is. So there's our slope. So we know our slope, which is the change in y over the change in x, is equal to -0.5, which is the same thing as saying it's -1/2. Just like if I had 50 cents, right, that's a half a dollar. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and take a look at B. Well, B, in this case, is 2. There it is. B, which is my y-intercept, is equal to a positive 2. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to graph my y-intercept. Well, my y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. So away I go. So I know the coordinates are 0, 2. So right there, there's my y-intercept. That's where it crosses the y-axis. It crosses it at y is equal to 2. And therefore the x-coordinate is 0. And now I'm just going to go ahead and apply my friend, the slope. I do have other friends besides slope, by the way. Voila! I'm done.
You're so lucky.
Move.